Andor Season 2 is a wrap, and that means new costumes inbound as summer heats up at the 501st Special Operations Detachment. Yo, at the time of recording, it is the end of June. By the time you see this, the kicking off of July. Here in this recon report, we're going to be talking about the latest costumes to roll off of the assembly line as seen in Andor Season 2. New ones that we're going to be housing here at the 501st Spec Ops Detachment. Along with that, since we've been gone, I wanted to feature some of the new costumes that rolled out while we were on a little bit of a hiatus. And so we're going to be tackling the Purge Troopers and all of the variants that we have. Sprinkle in a little dash of Task Force 99, and then we'll wrap it up with our two latest specialists and our two troopers of the month from the months of May and June. So with that, let's go. So first up, I want to talk about Andor Season 2. In my opinion, some of the best Star Wars that has come out since Disney took over the brand. But regardless of whether you like the episode or not, I don't want to get into all of that, start a war out in these streets. I do want to say, great episode with some cool costumes, one of which is going to land and be housed right under our detachment here at 501st Spec Ops. And that is the ISB Tactical Agent. We see them at the end of Season 2 as their hunt for Clea, Cassie, and Melshi starts to come to a close. I love the scene, going down the hallway, scanning for the operatives. Great scene. They weren't quite ready for a little K2SO action. I mean, who would have expected a traitorous killer droid? But nonetheless, new costume, white armor, very similar to the Mud Trooper costumes that we've had in the past. There's elements of that in there. But regardless, new costume, you can go to the forums, 501stSpecOps.com, check it out, see all the folks who are trying to build this one out. And hopefully in the very near future, we'll see a new CRL launch. Now, as I said, it's been quite a while since we'd started doing these recon reports again. Did one last month, but between that, there was like about a year span where we really didn't cover much. And so I did want to throw back to some of the costumes that were released and CRLs that were published during that time frame. And so my first highlight is going to be the Purge Troopers. Now there's a few variants of these, the most recent being the Phase 2 Purge Troopers from Kenobi. The signature black armor with red details, but in Kenobi, an updated helmet. Now by this point in the lore, unknown who's underneath that mask, but more than likely not clone troopers. However, the Phase 1 Purge Troopers, originally clone troopers. Now, most people remember these for their appearance in Jedi Fallen Order, the video game, as they battle against Cal Kestis. However, though that game was released in 2019, these troopers made an appearance in the Star Wars universe a year prior in the Darth Vader comic line. Published in March 2018, Darth Vader issue number 13 all the way up to issue number 17, these troopers appear in an arc in which they are hunting Jedi hidden on Mon Cala. They're alongside Darth Vader and several Inquisitors, and it's their mission to catch these Jedi and eliminate them. Within the arc, we do get a rare glimpse of what's beneath the helmet of a trooper. Very rarely do we see helmetless stormtroopers, scout troopers, shore troopers, etc., etc. And here, as the Purge Troopers are attacking and hunting down these Jedi, their helmets are lifted off and Order 66 is reinitiated. And it's at this point that they turn their blasters not only on the Jedi who they've been hunting, but also on the Inquisitors and Vader himself. And beneath those helmets, we see the familiar faces of clone troopers, the original Purge Troopers of the newly formed Empire. All in all, a really great arc. Highly encourage you to give it a read. Darth Vader issue 13 through 17. Now, the more commonly known Purge Troopers, of course, came from Jedi Fallen Order. And from that, two CRLs have been published, the Commander and the Electro Staff Specialist. A little interesting side note, within the 501st Legion, there are 12 total Purge Troopers in action. Shifting gears, let's talk about CRL updates. There's always a lot going on in our forums, but I did want to highlight one in particular as we shift gears a bit. Task Force 99 Sergeant Creel. This was a CRL published several years ago. Also troopers who've made an appearance in the Darth Vader comic line. But we have a builder who's been working on an optional accessory to the costume. Really cool one, as a matter of fact. Jetpack. And if you know anything about Spec Ops, you know that our detachment houses the majority of costumes that utilize jetpacks within the Empire. So it'll be interesting to see if this jetpack can be used alongside other Task Force 99 CRLs. Of course, there's only two out there right now, Creel and Cav, We'd love to see some of the other ones. If you're interested in building any of those costumes, come to the forums and let's talk about it. Switching over to our latest specialist approvals. Specialists are those costume builders who've already gotten a costume approved within the 501st Legion, but then they've taken it an extra level and hit extra additional detail requirements to get this specialist recognition. And so just two quick shout outs here. First, from the German Garrison TX 50883, Dennis, building a Del Miko and getting it to the specialist level. Congrats, man, we appreciate your work. And of course, big shout out to you. And then secondly, also from Europe, TX 26640 from the UKG, the United Kingdom Garrison, getting the Shadow Scout costume, I like to call them Storm Commandos, up to level 2, and then of course, getting that specialist recognition as well. And then while we're doling out congratulations, let's talk about Troopers of the Month. I have 2 to announce here on this recon report. First up, our Trooper for the month of May, TX 4019, Blackwatch. He's been an integral part of our detachment for several years now, working on CRL after CRL, extremely detailed work that he puts into it, a lot of hours. Shout out to you, man. We really appreciate everything that you do. P.S. My man is repping Louisiana in the Bast Alpha Garrison. And our June Trooper of the month, hailing from the Italica Garrison, TX 29916. You know him as the man who's been designing much of the merch coming out through Spec Ops, whether it's racing shirts, coins, and now our latest 20th anniversary logo. Definitely someone who's contributed a lot to our detachment. And so here in the month of June, man, we want to say thank you. As always, our detachment leader, Shane, has his eyes open and his ear to the ground of who's making moves within the Spec Ops detachment. Looking forward to honoring more people in the future. That'll wrap up this recon report. Can't wait to get at you with the next one. As always, make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment on the channel, help us get the word out about the 501st Special Operations Detachment and those troopers who are out there being bad guys, doing good. Can't wait to get at you on the next one. And until then, Spec Ops, you know what to do. Get out there, troop, and let's get it.